So when you picture a massive multi-million-dollar heist, you probably imagine a physical vault.
Right, like an Ocean's 11 scenario or something?
Exactly. High-tech lasers, synchronized watches, a crew in shark suits pulling off the impossible.
Yeah, we always expect a physical breach. Visible forced entry.
But welcome to today's deep dive, where the vault isn't in some Las Vegas casino. It's actually the retirement funds of aspiring writers.
Which is just devastating.
It really is. Today, we're taking you through this incredible forensic intelligence report on a transnational publishing fraud syndicate based in the Philippines. Completely digitally, they built a $44 million empire.
And the roots of this are, well, they're fascinating. If we look back to the mid-2000s, legitimate self-publishing companies started outsourcing their telemarketing to Cebu City in the Philippines.
I assume just to save on labor costs, right?
Exactly. But by doing that, they inadvertently trained this massive workforce in high-pressure styles and the psychological manipulation of vulnerable authors.
And it didn't take long for some of those workers to realize they didn't actually need the legitimate parent company at all.
Right, because the barrier to entry for digital publishing is practically zero.
Yeah, so they just went rogue.
Yeah.
But to successfully pull off an offshore heist of this magnitude, they had to manufacture absolute domestic trust.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was looking at the source material, and I just couldn't wrap my head around this one thing. If this is a known scam operation, specifically this front company called Bookmark Alliance, how are they sitting on an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau?
I mean, it seems completely contradictory, right?
Totally.
But it's actually a brilliant, though malicious, exploitation of an algorithmic blind spot. Bookmark Alliance only opened their BBB profile in June 2024.
Wait, so it's just brand new?
Yes. And the BBD system automatically defaults to a high grade if there's no historical complaint data on file.
Wow. So that A-plus isn't a badge of ethical business, it's literally just a lack of history.
Exactly. And that hollow BBB profile is really only half the illusion here.
Right, they pair it with a physical footprint. They leased a virtual mail drop for like $75 a month at 4695 Shabbat Drive out in California.
And that California mail drop isn't just for show. It acts as a shield. By registering a U.S. commercial address, they completely bypass U.S. banking regulations.
Which allows them to open domestic bank accounts.
Yep. It effortlessly fools your basic online due diligence.
And having those domestic accounts is the exact cover they need to safely launch what investigators are calling an adapted pig butchering scam.
Right.
For anyone who hasn't heard that term, how exactly does that work in this context?
Well, it's called pig butchering because they don't try to take all your money at once. They fatten you up with small, believable transactions.
Like a modest fee for a marketing service or something.
Exactly. Building absolute trust before going in for the life savings.
And the financial escalation detailed in the report is just staggering. First, they might charge you, $1,800 just to place a physical copy of your book on a crowded table at the LA Times book fair.
Which feels totally legitimate to a new author.
Yeah. But once you pay that, the trap is set. Next, they start forging these massive contracts from major studios like Netflix.
It escalates so quickly.
It does. There is this absolutely devastating anecdote in the report. An elderly victim paid $6,500 to an operative going by the name Connor for a supposed Hollywood deal.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And the operative instructed this victim to literally wait outside their home with 2 physical witnesses for the final life-changing documents to be delivered.
And of course, no representative ever arrived. The syndicate just absorbed the money and ghosted them.
It's awful.
It is, but it's crucial to understand why this specific demographic is so vulnerable. The scammers aren't just selling fake marketing services.
Right.
They are weaponizing a victim's profound psychological desire for legacy. They are selling the Hollywood dream to people who have the accessible retirement liquidity to actually pay for it.
Well, the human toll got so severe that it finally triggered a massive FBI response.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. In December 2024, federal authorities arrested the masterminds of the parent syndicate, Innocentrix Philippines, along with their U.S. money launderer.
They seized a ton of assets, right?
Millions. Millions in cash, real estate, luxury cars.
Which really highlights exactly why that California address was so vital. The U.S. launderer took the victim's domestic deposits, washed them through stateside shell companies, and then wired the clean funds right back offshore to Cebu City.
So you hear about these million Cs and you think, okay, the system worked. You'd think the movie ends right there.
But it doesn't.
Nope.
Because taking down the leaders didn't stop the machine. It's not like cutting off the head of a mythical hydra. It's much more mechanical than that.
How so?
It's like changing the domain name on a website. The highly trained telemarketers, the scripts, the offshore bank accounts, that entire engine stays exactly the same.
Wow.
Yeah, they just paint a new logo on the front door. They respawn almost overnight as new entities like WP Lighthouse and Ewing's Publishing, just to keep the money flowing seamlessly.
So the scary reality for anyone listening to this is how effortlessly these offshore criminals can fabricate digital trust using basic U.S. corporate loopholes.
Which leaves you with a final, pretty unsettling question to think about.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, if our consumer protection algorithms and domestic corporate registries are this easily weaponized by foreign syndicates, is the very concept of doing your own online research fundamentally obsolete?